Hi, everybody. Welcome to the syllabus overview for ED 466, Problem Identification and Intervention and Counseling, or what we call Problem ID 1. We're here for the fall 2025 semester. This is one of my favorite classes to teach. I think that you're going to love it. There's so much content, but it's a really fun class. So your instructor is me, Hennessy Lustica. There's my phone number. Please call or text me if you need anything. That's the best way to get in touch with me. You can also email me, and then office hours are available by appointment. We are going to have one required Zoom in this class, and we're going to do it before or like right when you get into the second module. So we will figure out that date as we move along. So this is an asynchronous 3 credit course. In this course, you will have 2 weeks to complete the work. So for this first section, the first module will open. I'm going to open it today, and you have until Monday, September 8th at 11:59 p.m. to complete all the work. And then on Monday, September 8th, module 2 will open, and then you'll have 2 weeks to complete all of that work. So this course is really designed to familiarize you with all of the diagnosis that can show up in your clients. We'll work a lot in the DSM in this course. We will talk about case conceptualization. We will link clinical disorders to treatment and see what treatments might be effective. This course is really focused on diagnosing, though, and not so much on treatment. So we'll talk a little bit about treatment, but it's really going to teach you how to diagnose and how to use the DSM. So here are your course objectives. We are K-CREP aligned, and so all of these objectives are the same in the master's level problem ID course that is taught here at Warner. So you can read these through, but we're going to talk about clinical and theory-based models of normalcy and psychopathology. You're going to be real familiar with the DSM. We're going to talk about how to diagnose, what major diagnostic categories they are, what criteria clients have to meet in order to get those diagnoses. We're going to talk about a continuum of care within the larger mental health delivery system. So how do you move from being a school counselor or a master's in counseling to an LMHC, a licensed mental health counselor? How do you move from the person that is recognizing these things that are going on and you're referring out to the person that gets referred out to? So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about symptoms. We're going to talk about diagnostic models and tools. We'll look at a little bit of research. We'll look at treatment strategies. We're going to talk a little bit about medications and psychopharm. So here is your course outline. The way that we do Problem ID at Warner is we have Problem ID 1 and Problem ID 2. So in this course, you'll learn about abnormal behavior in historical context, clinical assessment and diagnosis, and then we will really jump into kind of these 4 sections. So neurodevelopmental disorders, disruptive impulse control and conduct disorders, anxiety disorders, and depressive disorders. The other disorders that come up in the DSM, you'll learn about in Problem ID 2. Attendance policy, we are not in person. We are not synchronous except for the one course that we one time we are going to do Zoom that's required. But all your work has to be turned in on time. So my policy is you can send it to me ahead of time. I will look at it. I will edit it for you. I will send it back to you. This is your learning experience, and as long as you are doing what you need to do, your grade will be great. But everything does have to be in on time. You require texts, so these are available on the U of R website via ebook. The one that you should buy is the DSM 5 TR text revision one. This is also the text that you need for your pre-practicum class. For those of you that are taking that, you're going to need it for internship. You're going to need it when you go into practice. So this is the DSM is the one that I suggest that you purchase, and the rest you can purchase if you want, or you can get them through our library. Recommended texts, these are great. I'm never going to ask you to read from these, but these are really good if you want some more. Additional readings will be handed out, posted on Blackboard. So all of these additional readings you'll see, and there'll be some more on Blackboard as well. Our grading policy, ABC, that's actually supposed to be an E. If you get everything in and you do what you're supposed to do, you're not going to have to worry about your grade whatsoever. If you have any accommodations that you need or any accessibility that you need, please let me know, and I will send you right to the Office of Disability Resources, and we'll get any accommodations that you need right in place. Online etiquette, anti-discrimination, and harassment policy. So the university strictly prohibits the use of university online resources or facilities, including Blackboard, for the purpose of harassment for any individual or for the posting of any material that is scandalous, offensive, or otherwise against university policies. If you want to check out more, the Office of Equity and Inclusion, the address is right on there. But as counselors, we do not we are not discriminating or harassing against anybody, so that is the same for our class. Title IX, you also have the right to learn and work in a safe environment. If you feel unsafe or you feel like something that is being said or happening is making you feel that way, please let me know, or you can reach out right to our Title IX officer as well. Academic integrity. So my philosophy is this is your education. I've sat where you've sat. We're all very busy. We all work full-time jobs and we're doing this on top of our work. But your academic journey is yours. So it's really important that you take the time to complete the work. We do have an AI policy. And so our AI policy, um, you I like AI. I think that it can be very, very helpful. It can be helpful to look at grammar, to correct writing, to be a thought partner with ideas, to help take a lot of content and make it digestible. So in this course, you're welcome to use AI tools to support your learning and completion of course assignments, unless I say that you're not. So typically for our case conceptualizations, I do not want you to use AI for that. I want you to be able to start thinking about symptoms that clients are presenting with and thinking in your own mind, being able to conceptualize through your own knowledge base what might be going on for that client. If you do use AI, you have to cite that in your papers and say, we use ChatGPT or use whatever. Warner School Diversity and Inclusion Goals and Values. Again, Warner, the cornerstone of Warner is diversity and inclusion, social justice. So go ahead and read that. And there's other links in there if you want more information. Library services. We have an amazing librarian at the River Campus Library. She is there to assist you. She will help you with whatever you need. And all your books are at the library too, so feel free to reach out. Course requirements. So you're going to have discussion questions in each module. You're going to have a weekly case conceptualization starting in module 2. Module 1 is going to have you learning about like the history of abnormal behavior and the DSM and where it came from. Module 2 is when we start our weekly case conceptualizations. The first one we're going to do together because I really want to walk you through it and show you how to think about a case conceptualization. So we're going to set up a Zoom to do that. There's going to be some learning checks. There's going to be some weekly assignments that you have to do, and then you're going to have an individual project at the end. So your assignments are listed here, your discussion questions and critical thinking responses. These are all on Blackboard. They'll all be in the discussion post section. It's really important that you follow the directions. The DQs are graded. It's not a place for you just to like offer like 2 or 3 sentences back to your classmates. It's really a place where you're having kind of discussion about the material that we're talking about. So you're going to have to do a post and then you're going to have to respond to one of your classmates' posts as well. We're going to have learning checks, so there will be assignments at the end of each module that you need to do. Weekly case conceptualizations. This is what we're going to focus most of our time on, is really looking at client stories and presenting problems and saying, okay, what might be going on with this client because diagnosis impacts treatment. So we need to have a diagnosis so we can treat them in the best way possible, and that's what you're going to learn how to do. And then your final assignment will be a clinical assessment and treatment plan. So we will use a similar format to the NCMHCE, which is the exam that you'll take at the end of everything to become a licensed mental health counselor. And you will be more than prepared to do this final assessment and treatment plan after we go through all of the work. So here are your standards for problem ID 1 and problem ID 2. Again, we're K-CREP aligned, so all the standards are in here with your assignments if that's something that you're interested in looking at. I'm running through it, and I think that's the end. So when you go on Blackboard, if you go under about this course, there is a calendar of when things are due. So everything is due 2 weeks after it opens. And everything is going to open on a Monday. So your first assignments for this class, everything is going to be due on September 8th by 11:59 p.m. And again, I'll send out an email and we're going to set out a required Zoom for Module 2 so we can learn how to do some case conceptualizations together. Thanks for being here.